I want to welcome everybody to the On the Mat podcast. I'm your host, Paul Robertson, and this show is to highlight high school athletes, also to give these young men or young women a platform to tell their stories as they pursue their dreams in life. No matter what the dream is, remember, this is only the beginning. I'd like to welcome this young man who is a senior running back / middle linebacker from Mountain Vista High School in Highland Ranch, Colorado. As a freshman, he was ranked number 6 in Colorado, number 2 in Division 5A, and he was nationally ranked number 289 for tackles. That is insane.
Yes,
As a
sir.
sophomore, he was ranked number 26 nationally, number 2 in Colorado, with 195 total tackles. Also, he had 7 sacks. This young man carries a 3.0 GPA. I'd like to welcome my guest, Carter Daniels, to the On the Mat podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited to get this thing going.
Hey, man, I'm glad you took the time out of your schedule. And I've been watching you, Carter, man. Your rehab, we'll get into why you've been doing rehab and you've been pushing, but you've been a very, very busy young man between strength and conditioning, football practice, and your road to recovery. So let me start this question so we can get into people are like, what is this all about?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
so Carter, your junior year, you started on pace to being the number 1 tackler in the state of Colorado,
Yes, sir.
and your national ranking jumped quite a bit from what I saw. Take
Yeah.
me back to early October and the emotions you felt that were attached to that day, and let's tell our viewers what happened, man.
So the week before everything happened, starting tight end broke his collarbone in the biggest rivalry game that we have. They're right down the street, a mile away. It's Thunder Ridge High School. We beat him by 45. Broke his collarbone on a fake punt. It was awful. But next week, turn around. It was like, well, I stepped up, offered to play starting tight end. First play at tight end, slip route, catch it running up the sideline, get hit right below the knee, the outside of the ankle, and the outside of my hip say hello to each other. And I tore my ACL, meniscus, sprained my MCL, fractured my tibia, pulled both my quad and hamstring. So it's just been
Man. What kind of emotions did you feel, like, other than pain? Like, obviously when you get hurt, the adrenaline and all that stuff, but when you're at the hospital, you get the diagnosis and you were on the pace to be the number 1 middle linebacker, number 1 tackler in the state. Like, what emotions did you feel after that, man?
It was pretty brutal. I mean, when I first went to the hospital, I went to the hospital 30 minutes after it happened.
Okay.
I was very optimistic for a long time. I was in the headspace that it was just a sprain. No matter what it was, I was going to play the next week. Like,
okay.
I was like in denial about it. But once I got my MRI results, I was pretty hurt for a few days, for a few weeks until surgery happened. Because, I mean, teams playing first time they ever had a bye in Mountain Vista High School football history. We got a bye in the first round. They're doing great things, and I can't help out in the way that I wanted to. So it was really hard to watch and really mentally challenging to get over that hump. But once surgery happened and all that stuff, it was like a switch in my head. It was like, all right, don't be sorry for yourself and just get to work.
Nice. Now, before the surgery, you said, like, obviously you were dealing with some emotions. Can you talk about, like, what advice, like, any of your mentors, your coach, or your parents were giving you just to keep you through? Because as young men or young athletes, when we go through an injury like that, like, we think the world's over. We do. It's like, oh, my life is over.
It was like, I was definitely like, my life is over for the first few days. But then I talked to counselors, I talked to people, girlfriend, parents, and it just kind of, I had opportunities that were only improved. I mean, I went online school after I got hurt because I couldn't walk for 8 weeks. So
wow, 8 weeks?
Yeah, I had to keep my legs straight and put no pressure on it for 8 weeks after surgery. And so, but after everything happened, went online after fall break, and I mean, it was like nice to be home and be able to go to the gym. I mean, I was up at 7:30 down at Landau Performance, which is like the gym in Colorado, working out, getting better, and it was like I was excited to start over in a sense.
Okay. Yeah. Now that leads me to this. November 3rd, you began your road to recovery. Let's tell the viewers what that journey's been like for you.
It's ups and downs. I mean, everything comes with good and bad. and I feel as if there's been more good than bad. Everything is like it's brutal, but it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it's just a hard process, and you have to understand it's a lot of work. And so I love putting in the work with it though.
Now, I tore my MCL in college, and I know that rehab it's kind of grueling because we didn't do surgery, right? So I was in an immobilizer for several weeks. Um, how did you deal with the days that you didn't want to be there? Because there were several days where I did not want to be in rehab. I just wanted to be at home eating a tub of ice cream and telling everybody to leave me the F alone. So you being as young as you are, like, what was your motivation to keep fighting through, and what did you do on those days where you didn't want to be there?
To be honest, I watched my film from before I got hurt, and
Okay.
I just knew that I wanted to be better than that person was to make sure I would never be in the position again. Like I wanted to get so strong that my muscles wouldn't need surgery because I know some UFC fighters uh, who don't have ACLs. Justin Gaethje, one of my coaches trained him, and he doesn't have an ACL in his left leg, and he's one of the best fighters in the world.
Hey,
And
man.
he's so physically strong that I want to get to a point where I wanted to be at that point where I was like, my muscles are so strong, I don't need another surgery. I can muscle through everything. And I mean, I know realistically that's not how it works, but that was my mindset through it, is comparing it myself to that guy.
Hey, but that's an awesome mindset to have, especially you're not even 18 years old yet.
I am
Like,
now.
I'm an adult. Like, and when I tore my MCL, I was in college, and let me tell you, I did not have that mentality. You know what I had? I had my mom and my friends in my ear, like, stop being a B and get your butt to rehab because we still got senior season. So the fact that you were able to find something that motivated you is awesome, man, and that can be used as an example for other people that are your age that may experience something like this.
Yes, sir.
So now, even with your season being cut short, man, your stats were so, like, I'm just gonna say ridiculous because when I looked them up, like, I do my research, Carter. Like, I do my research, bro.
Yes,
And
sir.
when I was reading, the fact that you still, even after you blew out your knee, Colorado Prep still named you co-defensive MVP for South Metro 5A.
Yeah.
What did receiving that honor feel like, even though you were going through what you were going through? Like, what did that feel like for you?
To be honest, I didn't even really realize I was given that honor until
Mhm.
like a few days after. Like I was very off of everything at that point, and I was just like, whatever, put my head down working. And when I got told, I was like, I felt like it should have gone to one of my teammates, mainly Austin Scheich, who is one of our safeties. Has a Division II offer to or Jamestown, North Dakota right now.
That's right.
He's a dog, but it should have gone to him. I mean, he really stepped up and became a leader to defense and stepped into that role. And I felt more like I didn't deserve that because from my previous years, I didn't feel like I deserved anything because my junior season stats were so different, and I didn't feel like I helped out as much as I should have.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, anybody. So out here in California, we have we have some bad SOBs at middle linebacker. Like, we put out some guys, right? When I was in high school, 110, 120 was like a middle linebacker stats.
Yeah.
Carter, you had 195.
Yeah, that
Bro.
was my sophomore season.
So the fact that, man, I tip my hat out to you, young man, because I can tell not only from the workouts going through rehab, but this is the game you love, and this is something you take seriously, and like, you hone your craft.
Yes, sir.
And on February 12th, you finally received an invite to a bowl game that you had been dreaming about since you were in middle school. What were your emotions like when you finally got that invite to the Polynesian Bowl and you weren't medically cleared?
It was tough because I was like, you see a bunch of 5 stars, 4 stars go play in this bowl game, and it's like I could be competing with those guys and going to show like I belong. I may be undersized, but like I can compete with them. I may not be as physically gifted as them, but I feel like I'm way smarter than them when it comes to football knowledge. Like I understand how the game works, and I could have showcased that and playing in that bowl game. But it's like it was like at that point where it's like, all right, well, I just have to get invited to the Under Armour one next year or something like that, and then year to come, and just want to build those next steps and set those goals higher each year to just make myself work harder and harder.
Nice. Now, you were talking about the knowledge of the game, that you feel you're smarter, right? So this question is straight off the cuff, just because we're having a conversation. How much time do you put into studying film to be knowledgeable like you talk about?
That's I couldn't give you count on hours. I mean, I'm at like one of our defensive coordinator at our high school works in the school. During my lunches, I go in his office and we watch film together and we talk about the plays and what we see. We watch
Nice.
practice film, see what I did bad, what teammates did bad, and I'll have teammates call me and be like, "Hey, can we watch film together?" So I'll be like, "Sure." It's like my fourth, fifth time watching film, helping them go through it and talk about it with them, so they can understand what they did wrong or even what I did wrong to make that
Nice.
better and understand.
That's awesome. Like, I coach high school football. I'm a defensive coordinator, and I hate watching film. I watch it because obviously that's part of the game. But honestly, like after I watch it like 4 or 5 times, I'm like, all right, I got my game plan. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that's what separates you from. Imagine kids now. Kids hate watching film.
Yeah.
So I give you so much props on that, dude. Like, keep that up. Keep it up.
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, because when you get to the next level, let me tell you something. You live in the film room. It's class, weight room, practice, film room. Repeat.
Yeah.
And that's going to set you above everybody else.
Yeah, it's just about enjoying the process, like with everything, and it's just fun to me.
That's right. Hey, dude, I can totally tell you just love the game. And I love it, man. I haven't seen passion in a young man about the game in a very long time, and it is very exciting to see. So knowing that your return is right around the corner for your senior year, what are you most excited about returning to the field for?
Just to play again. I mean, that's all. Like, I've been asked that by coaches, players, anybody, and all I can think of is I just want to play again. It's been way too long since I've hit anybody or been able to express myself in the way that I know best. And so it's just kind of, I'm just ready to fly down to Hawaii and go hit some people.
Oh, that's right. Let's talk a little bit about that Hawaii game. Mm-hmm. Who are you guys playing, and what are you looking forward to most about that Hawaii game?
We're playing Pearl City High School, which is right on the beach, which is really nice. I'm excited to just go out there and enjoy, a last senior trip with my friends, I guess, and teammates, and enjoy going down to Hawaii, practicing in that beautiful weather, and going out to play on a Thursday night, and just enjoying the process. Like I said, because it's like we land at like 12 on Tuesday, August 15th, and we go straight to practice. So like we'll take a bus as a team, go straight to practice, and then head to our hotel. So it's like I'm excited for that. That's like
nice. Is this your guys' first travel game?
So I actually have been playing with the same team, like our group of seniors. We were on a youth football team called the Highlands Ranch Savages.
Okay.
We were nationally ranked Division II, second place in the nation. Very, very good team. 22 out of like 24 kids all decided to go to the same high school. Quarterback is committed to South Dakota. We've been playing with him forever, so we've done a bunch of travel games. But as a high school, we went to Florida my sophomore year and won 42-0 against
nice
Miami Central, I think it was.
Hey, that's awesome. There's nothing like flying to another state and getting the win, because the flight back home sucks. If you lose. If you lose, the flight back home sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun. I don't want to lose.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you go 2 for 2. I'm rooting for you. Yes, so 111 recruiting or 111 recruiting. If I got that wrong, I deeply apologize. Has you ranked number 4 as the number 4 athlete in your class? Elite 400 national recruiting experts have you as a 3-star.
Yes, sir.
Has you projected to go to either a G5 or a P5? For our viewers that don't know what a G5 or a P5 is, a G5 is a Group 5. P5 is a Power 5. Now, Carter, I think you can excel in either division, either level. But for you as a player, because I know you got to tour some schools,
yes, sir.
Where do you feel you fit in at?
Um, just at the places I've been, I loved Winona down in Minnesota. It was a beautiful campus, beautiful college town. I loved it. But I've also loved every place I've went to.
Yeah,
UNLV, all the schools in South Dakota and North Dakota. It was all been fun. I really see myself fitting in anywhere that gives me the opportunity. I'll
nice.
find the way to match the culture and bring the energy just like I do now. It doesn't matter where or what division or level. I just want to. I know where no matter where it is, I'll fit in and play my role in that
I
team.
love it. Hey, my last guest on the show actually said that he fell in love with UNLV, and
Yeah,
he's
I love.
supposed to. Yeah, he's supposed to be one of the top running backs. You're a top middle linebacker in Colorado. That would, hey, UNLV. If you
Yeah,
watch this show, go get both of them. Both
I
straight
love
dogs.
Coach Bo.
Hey, there we go. Hey, but Carter, how does it make you feel? Like reaping the rewards of your hard work, like you're getting noticed and you're getting that like the recognition for it. Like, how does that make you feel?
Um, it's nice, I guess, but it's also I know it puts a target on my back because of kids, high school kids see all this kids posting this and that, and he's got this awards, and his team does this, and they do that. It's just a matter of like, all right, you say you're gonna step up to this level, and you're getting this recognition. You better be able to play for it. So it's like it just makes me work harder and
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm not at a level to where I need to be. Like I just
Okay.
have that extra step I can always be taken, and I always think somebody else is doing that work to prepare for me, so I got to prepare for everybody.
Nice. I like that. I really do. So in mid-April, you got to visit 6 schools.
Yes,
You
sir.
tweeted that you learned the most valuable lesson in 48 hours. Can you tell our viewers, because there are a lot of viewers that are going to be around your age, what
Mhm.
was the thing that you took away from that, man?
To make the most out of every situation, to go out and make sure that you're the one reaching out to colleges and you're going to you're doing what you need to do and not relying on somebody else to do it for you. Because it was like I was only supposed to meet one school originally when I went out there. I was only supposed to go to Winona,
Okay.
and I hit up every single school I could in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. I was like, we'll be in driving distance. Let me message all these guys and see what happens. And messaged all of them, and I ended up meeting six coaches, the whole staff, and had an opportunity to grow my knowledge for the game and different programs and understand where I feel I can fit best at.
Nice. In that 48 hours, or who was it your ideal to hit up the schools, or did you have somebody like, hey, let's try it?
So my dad was actually like, let's hit up all these schools. And I was like, all right, yeah, I love it. So I messaged all the schools on Twitter, emailed all of them, got us followed them all, did everything I could to try and make the most out of the opportunity I had.
Nice. Out of all those schools, you're in Colorado, you play in the snow.
Yes, sir.
What school would be the ideal to get you out of the snow?
To be honest, all those schools play in the snow. all the
Oh no, you didn't even pick a school that had no snow, Carter?
Minnesota and North Dakota. I mean, the Bison play indoors. The Bison
Yeah.
play inside, but every other school's like I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but like I said before, I don't mind playing in the snow. I find it more fun. Like if the college plays in the snow, I'm totally fine with that. We had a snow game my sophomore year, first round of the playoffs, which sucked.
Yeah.
First blizzard of the year, we lost the first round, which was really brutal after having a really good season.
Yeah.
But it was a fun game. I was hitting people and they were doing flips and stuff. So that was
Hey, I'm glad you had a fun experience. First time I played in the snow, I was in Sioux City, Iowa. It was like playing tackle football on the concrete. I hated it.
yeah.
Hated it.
That does not sound fun at
It
all.
hurt. Like I had been to the snow. Like we have snow in the mountains, but I never played football in the snow. I'm just shell
It was,
shocked.
it was ours was powder snow at least. So when you fell, it was soft, just cold.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was up to like 22 degrees outside, maybe. So
Oh
that
yeah,
was
that sounds fun. Yeah, I
that was
definitely play football in 22 degrees for sure.
that was a
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, I would do that. Like, get me out of this California heat anytime. I'll play in the cold for sure.
I
But
love the rain games. The rain games are my favorite.
oh yeah, the ball's always popping out. If you know what you're doing, you causing turnovers.
Yes, just grab some cloth and it's the best.
Yeah. Hey man, so I want to talk a little bit about your drip. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I told you I do my research,
sir.
Carter. So, I've seen your cleat collection. I
Yeah,
saw the fruity pebble LeBrons,
yeah,
but the ones I really want to talk about are your latest cleats.
yeah.
So, your latest cleats are the Mamba cleats. They're dedicated to GG. Absolute fire. How did you come up with that ideal and where did you get it? Like, how did you get it and where did it come from?
So I originally had ordered a pair of Grinch custom cleats,
Okay.
but they weren't the right color, a little bit off. The paint on it was chipping already after one wear, so I gave it to one of my friends' dads who does custom cleats. His name's Chris Jones, super nice guy. I was like, hey man, you know the school colors. It's a Mamba, it's a Kobe cleat already. You freestyle it, man, and let me know. He sent me a picture after the first shoe, and I was like, oh man, those are awesome. Like they were perfect. I just knew that they were going to go great with all the colors. So
Yeah. Hey, you guys are sponsored by Jordan. I saw the Jumpman on the jersey, so that's
yeah,
pretty fly.
we got a Jumpman logo, and then one of our jerseys is Jordan, and we got two Nike ones. So
Okay. That's
next,
cool.
yeah, it's definitely fun.
Where do you get your swag from?
To be honest, I just kind of wear whatever I feel is best. Like
Okay.
I always since my freshman year, I've had the same routine. I like one leg sleeve and either turf tape, one arm sleeve, or nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just kind of stay with the same thing. If I have a good game, I'll wear the exact same combination of drip. I'm very superstitious in that way. If I wear the same R-band, I'm going to wear the same way, the same leg sleeve.
Have you always been that way?
Always. I mean, I have the same routine before every game. I've had the same routine since I was 6 years old. The only difference is some slight change in music taste, and that's it.
Okay. Got to see that the news, your local news station, was
Yes,
able to highlight your journey. What was that process like? Not like so you know what it is when you're rising the ranks. You get a little bit of notoriety. You get a little bit of like you'll get a news article here and there. But you had the news come out and talk about your story. What was it like being able to share that story with the world and having the news follow you around and tell your story?
It was super fun. It felt like I was given an opportunity to speak to all Colorado high school athletes who might be going through the same thing or something similar. And it felt super motivating in that sense of what I'm doing is getting noticed. And if I keep going, who knows who's going to notice the next thing? It's like, it's fun. It's fun to be a part of all of it.
That's amazing. So this transitions into my last question before we leave.
Yes, sir.
What is some advice you can give a young athlete that is or may be going through what you've went through over the last year? Because I think it'd be really beneficial for people, young adults your age, to hear it come from you. You were able to tell Colorado. Now you're going to be able to tell the state of California, and hopefully this goes further and nationally.
Yes, sir. One big thing of advice I would give is just to enjoy the process and understand that there will be ups and downs. Um, you can't go into it thinking everything's going to go perfect because it's not, but you can hold yourself to a higher standard to where things aren't as bad as they seem and just to roll with the flow because you have no control in the situation. You can only control what you can control, and everything happens for a reason. I mean, no matter what happens, either it's injury or it doesn't go your way during the season, there's always going to be a new opportunity that presents itself in a different way. And things finds a way to work themselves out if you're willing to put in the work and just have fun with it and make it a game within yourself. And like I said, just enjoy the process.
I love it. Wise words from a very wise young man. Carter, you're very ahead of your days, young man. I'm excited to see what happens for you this season. I'm going to be definitely watching. I'm definitely going to be following.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, this was Carter Daniels. I'm your host, Paul Robertson, and this is On the Map podcast. We thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and if you want to, go ahead and leave a comment. Carter may shout you back out. Carter's very responsive on his Twitter.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Y'all be safe. Enjoy. Peace.